Hi, welcome back to the table exercise tutorial stage 4, where we're going to introduce some lights and a camera into a scene. If you haven't already done so, please restart 3ds Max, and then let's open the file we last saved by clicking on the icon, looking across here at recent documents, and the last one we saved of course was table exercise 01. First of all, let's place a camera in our scene. So let's click on Create, then on the camera icon, and we want to select a target camera. In the top viewport, left click and drag, and this points the camera towards the center of the table. Right click on the perspective view to make it active. Now press C on the keyboard to change the perspective view to the camera view. As you can see, we currently have a very peculiar view of the scene. So in the other views, move the camera to get a scene similar to what I'm about to produce now. So let's look in the top view, click on the select and move. Use your middle mouse button to enlarge or shrink the view. So I'm now doing that to give myself more space. I will now drag the camera out, so I now can see more of the table in the camera view. I now need to raise the camera, but to get a decent view of all this, left click anywhere not on an object. That deselects everything. Now we can come down to the bottom right here to the zoom extents. If we click on that button, it will give us a better view in all other viewports about where the camera is relative to the table. If we now look at the left view, so let's right click to make it active, click on the camera, and let's start to raise it and watch what happens in the camera view. So we're getting a much better camera angle on the scene. We're still probably too close, so once more in the top view, right click to make it active. Let's drag the camera back a little bit further, and there we are. Once again, let's click on the zoom extents, and let's move this camera in the top view round towards the left to approximately this angle. Doesn't have to be exact. Next, let's add a light to the scene. So once again, click on Create. This time click on the light icon. Change photometric to standard if it is not already selected. And let's click on Target Spot. Once more, all we need to do is click and drag. Now with the light at that angle and position, it creates many difficult shadows. So let's move it to somewhere better positioned. In this case, it is best to place the light to the right and slightly above the camera. So in the top view, let's click, select and move. We can turn this round to about that position there. Now we have to raise it, but once again we cannot see all the objects, so left click anywhere to deselect everything, come back down to zoom extents. Now we can come back across in the left view. Let's select the spotlight and bring it up just above the camera. There we go. Now, making sure we still have the spotlight selected, which we can see here. Let's click the Modify panel, and in the General Parameters rollout, let's switch on Shadows by clicking here. And now, of course, you can see shadows appearing in the camera view. Now we can try carrying out a test render. To do this, click on the Rendering tab, then let's go to Render Setup. In Render Setup, let's make sure it's a single frame we're going to create, that the dimensions are as stated here, and that we have selected the camera view, and this is indicated down here. Left is already highlighted because we are currently on the left viewport, which has the yellow border around it. We really need to take the camera view, and now of course it has highlighted this view with the yellow border. Now click Render, and we have our first proper view of a rendered scene. However, the scene does look dark in places with harsh shadows. Therefore, we need to add a couple of other lights called Omni lights to fill in the detail. These lights are point lights which send out light in all directions, similar to a light bulb, and the exact opposite of a spotlight, which is directional. So let's just close these windows down for the moment and go to Create Lights. So click on Create, click on Lights, and click on Omni. Now in the top viewport, so let's right click that to make it the active viewport. We're going to place two lights. One will be to the left of the camera, approximately here, and one will be to the rear of the table, approximately here. In terms of position relative to the table, the rear light should be slightly lower than the table, and the front left light should be slightly higher than the camera. So let's adjust these using the various viewports. Now click in any empty space to deselect the light tool, and now we can move the two Omni lights to the correct positions. So let's click on the Select to Move. So let's move this light up just above the camera, and this light just below the table. As you can see from the camera view, the shadows are much less harsh than they were previously. Now let's render the scene again. Click Rendering. Render Setup should still be the same with a single frame, same dimensions, and of course we're still on the left viewport. So let's click on Camera 1, and we see the yellow border switches onto the Camera 1 viewport. Now click Render, and we now have a much better scene. Before finishing, you should now take the opportunity to save your file using the Save As feature and the plus sign, which will increment the current version to 02. Once you've done so, please continue with stage 5.